All right, next up, Google. Look, Google, you have a full room. And this is Benoust from Google, and he'll be talking about online trends in regards to Forex and binary options.
Thank you. Are you able to hear me in the back? Please raise your hand. Vince? Yes. Okay, great. Okay, so I am Panos. It's the third time I'm speaking in IFX Expo. I'm really glad to be here. I'm with Google around 3 years. I've been an investment banker before. And I'm responsible for the Forex industry. My presentation is quite short, around 15 to 20 minutes. And I will present mobile, online, and Forex trends. So let's see the current state of the internet. At the moment, we have around 2 billion users, 5 billion subscriptions, mobile subscriptions, and the entire information of pictures, videos, etc. online is around 800 exabytes. So let's see in around 10 years how things will look. So we estimate around 5 billion online users, 10 billion mobile subscriptions, which around 50% of those will be smartphones, and 53 zettabytes of information. So I'm not going to pretend that I know exactly what the 53 zettabytes is and how large this number is, but I mean, analysts did predict that online will become big. The only thing they couldn't predict is how much information users will upload. And this is massive, in terms of videos, art, text, etc. So I'm going to talk about 4 things. Trends we see in search, how mobile is increasing, how important social is becoming, and how online video consumption is increasing. So let's talk about search. The online consumer is changing. A few years ago, 15 years ago, we only had one screen, which was the TV. Now we're using 3 or 4 screens, the second screen being the PC, the third the mobile, the fourth the tablet. And, our studies show that when we're watching TV, around 50% of people that own a mobile or a tablet, they're using it in parallel. And you know, in the Forex industry, 5, 6 years ago, searches were very basic. So if someone wanted to learn how to trade Forex, they would write Forex trading, as simple as that. But now, it's getting more and more complicated. We see searches like trade Forex, MetaTrader at 4, low pips, etc., etc. So the customer is getting more and more advanced. This is per device the searches we see per day. So the blue line is the desktop, and we see during work hours, desktop searches are really high, but when we go back home, we use mobile and tablet, which is the red and green line respectively. And so we check our emails before we go to bed, we use our tablet in parallel when watching TV, we see the latest news before we go to sleep. So it's quite interesting. Now, this is the trend we see in global investment queries. And when we say global investment queries, searches, this would be invest in gold, short euro, Forex trading, etc. So 2012 was, we didn't see a lot of growth. There was no volatility, especially during the summer months. Investors and traders' interest was low, but 2013 has a strong momentum. January was a really strong month. We see a lot of interest and searches in Google about Forex trading. And now with the volatility of gold since last month, we see that the momentum is growing, and we have a 25% year-on-year growth. Where does this growth come from? The gray line is desktop, and the red line is mobile. So we see a lot of growth coming from mobile devices, which I'm going to talk more in detail now. So does anybody know where this picture is from, 2005? So it's from the Vatican. It's from the election of Pope Benedict, 2005. Let's see the election of Pope Francis this year. You see any differences? Okay, so people are really connected. So last year was the first year where mobile smartphone sales surpassed PC sales. And in Google, we see each day 1.3 million Android devices being activated. And in 2010, we had 500 million smartphone devices activated. And we expect by 2015 this to be 3.5 billion. So the growth of mobile is very high. Now again, mobile brings constant connectivity. We don't go anywhere anymore without our smartphone. And what is quite interesting is here that so the gray line is the PC. So during lunch break, we leave our desk, and so PC usage goes down. But look how much mobile usage goes up. It's because we take our phone with us in the restaurant, also, as well as during the night. We use our smartphone at home. Also, usage during weekends increases because we leave the desktop, we use our mobile more, and during the holidays, we see mobile going up. Now let's see the region. We have two regions, Europe and Asia. And we will show you how searches for Forex, especially for Forex, perform in desktop and mobile. So this is Europe, obviously. So in desktop, for example, in the UK, we see desktop searches for Forex decline year on year from 11 to 12 by 5%. But when we include mobile only, we see how much people are searching through their mobile phones. And in most countries, this growth is 3-digit. So take a look at the numbers. Let's see Asia. Again, in Asia, Asia Pacific, the picture is the same. So, for example, in desktop, Australia, searches for Forex are down 3% year on year, 11 to 12. But when we include mobile, we see 3-digit growth, 104%. So, if you're looking for a growth opportunity and a new platform, mobile, definitely one. Before we go to the next slide, although mobile is growing that much, only 20% of online businesses have a mobile optimized sites. When we say mobile optimized site, we say it's a site that has big buttons, not that much information, which is friendly for the user. So we did a study, and it shows that people actually prefer being stuck in traffic than really going to non-optimized website, mobile website. So you can understand the frustration of someone using a mobile site that is not optimized. And more than 50% will never visit a mobile site that is not optimized again. Video. Okay, we'll start with a question. Which is the second largest search engine in the world? So it's Bing, Yahoo, Baidu, YouTube. Okay, Bing, A, let me see hands for A, Bing. Nobody likes Bing? Group? Nobody believes in Bing? Okay. YouTube. Yahoo? No. Baidu? Okay. So see some hands? YouTube? Okay, good. Okay, so people use YouTube to learn how and find videos that are educational. So let me show you some basic numbers. So 5 billion views are consumed per day. 4 billion views are consumed per day in YouTube. which means each one of us, each one of online user is consuming 2 videos per day. It's very big. The other astonishing number is that 72 hours of video are uploaded every minute. So by the end of this presentation, around 1,500 hours of video will be uploaded in YouTube, which is approximately 60 days of video being uploaded while I speak. The numbers are very big. So we did a study, and when users are watching video online, they have higher attention levels. So we see that there's a lean forward mode. So because users, they choose the video they want to see, the time they want to see it, in comparison with TV, where there's a lean backwards mode when your sofa or your couch in your living room, you're not that engaged when you're watching TV. Again, the difference between online video and TV is that there's no prime time. People consume video throughout the day. So even if you're the people that you see really working at the office, they're not working, they're watching videos. And you see the difference between TV, where prime time, which is between 8 and 11, the consumption goes up. It's the blue line. Now, okay, the obvious way to use video online would be, yes, to advertise and to do branding online. But especially for Forex and in emerging markets like Asia, it's a good way to educate your audience. Upload videos, educational. It's really cost effective, and it's a really good way to engage with your audience and increase your client base. Now, social. So YouTube passed 1.1 billion users. Social network of Google+, it's more than 500 million users at the moment. LinkedIn is growing, Twitter is growing. Yahoo spent more than $1 billion to buy Tumblr. So social is on the rise, and this slide shows per country how many people use more than 2 social networks. So, for example, you can see in Hong Kong, 70% of the people use two or more networks, social networks. So people are using more and more. I mean, 5 years ago, people used probably one, or few used the second network, but now it's getting very, people are using more and more. We see this especially in teenagers and young ages. Does anybody know what is FOMO? FOMO. What?
Fear of missing out.
Yes, yes. So teenagers really fear of missing out. So they're registered in many different social networks because they're afraid they will miss something cool. Their friends will go to a party and they're going to miss it, and they just spend most of their time in many networks. Now in the Forex industry, so the blue line is queries, branded queries for traditional brokers, searches, and the red line is for social brokers. And we see that the growth, these are not absolute, this is index, these are not absolute numbers, but we see that the growth of social brokers, it's higher. So there's an impact as well in the Forex industry. So what was my presentation? Two things I would like you to keep would be mobile. It's growing, it's going to continue to be growing, and you need a mobile strategy if you don't have one. And then video consumption online is increasing. It's a shift from TV to online video. And then if you don't have an online video strategy, you should focus on it and try to use it for the benefit of your business and increasing your customer base. Now, in that, from Google's office in Israel. We'll speak about another growth area, which is binary.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. I need a clicker. Yes, thank you. And I need a presentation. Also, you help me. Till then, okay. So good morning, everyone. Nice to see you. My name is Einat Nitzan. I'm an account manager at Google Israel. In the last 3 years, I've been working first with Forex and today with binary option advertisers, consulting them about their online marketing strategy in different aspects, such as their PPC campaign, the conversion funnel in the website, how to position themselves in the markets, and many other aspects as well. And I guess that many of you are curious about where the binary option industry is heading. And since Google is, to some extent, a reflection to the user's interest, I thought it might be interesting to share with you some of the insights that we gained about this industry. But before that, I want to ask you a little question. Who do you think was the leading binary option broker in Germany in the last year? More names? Van the Swiss? Okay. We'll know in about 10, 12 minutes. And I want to open with the tremendous growth that indeed we see in binary option search queries all around the world. In 2012, search volume for binary option grew in almost 200% over 2011. It means it almost tripled itself. And this growth continued into 2013. Now, to put this into context, let's take, for example, the UK market. Here, we can look at the search trend for a binary option when you compare it to Forex. Forex is the red line. Of course, Forex is still much more popular than binary option, but you can see that while search for Forex started to decline in 2011, binary option just started to pick up, and this is where we stand today, where the gap between the searches for binary option and Forex is smaller than ever. Now, this is only an example of one market, the UK. We see this trend in other markets as well. Another aspect of this growth that we definitely can't ignore, and Panos discussed it before, is the growth on mobile. And it's not only the absolute number of mobile, but it's the share of mobile out of the total queries for binary option. In the beginning of 2012, 7% of the queries for binary option were made from mobile device. Today, the number is 15%. It means that every, more or less, 1 out of 6 users who is searching for binary option today is doing so from a mobile device. And we expect this trend to grow, and maybe in the next year we will see that it's not 1 out of 6, but it's 1 out of 4, which this is, by the way, the ratio that we see in other industries, such as e-commerce, for example. So all this growth in mobile, in desktop, and in all the markets shows us actually that the binary option industry is actually a maturing industry. And as such, there are many opportunities, which this is the right time to try to capture. And I want to highlight now the 3 top opportunities that we see for binary option for the coming year. The first one is market education. Today, 1 out of 5 searches for binary option is actually an informative query. What does it mean? It means that users search for keywords like what binary options are, how to trade binary options Wikipedia. So the users don't really know what binary options are, and they are looking for information, and maybe this is the right time to give them the tools and the advice that they are looking for, and have them and actually influence on the perception of the users about this industry. The second trend is new markets that are rising. There are many markets where we see that only in the last year, users started to search for binary option for the first time. And the industry is very, very focused on Western European countries, on English-speaking countries, Japan, maybe recently China. But actually that we see that searches for binary option spread in the last year to more than 30 new markets. And this fact has implication on the website translation, on recruiting salespeople, also on the financial assets that brokers offer the user, right? And I want to give you a few examples of the new markets that we see in the last year. We have the Scandinavian countries such as Sweden and Norway, which I can guess that the trader value in this country might be very high. Also Austria. Now, Austria is a German-speaking country. Most of the brokers already have a website in German, so it might be a very easy to capture opportunity. And another huge market that we see rising in the last years is Brazil. Brazil is huge in terms of population, and also its economy is growing very, very fast, as you probably know. And it might be a real game changer for those brokers who will know how to overcome the payment and billing issues that we know that they are in this market. So all those are new markets, but we still see shifts and changes and movements in the popular market, where most of the binary option brokers are already active in. Let's take a look on some of those markets. Here you can see some of the most popular markets for binary option: France, Germany, Canada, Australia. And what you can see here is that in 2011, the leading market by far was France. And then searches, we are talking here about searches for binary option, okay? Then searches started to decline. And today, actually, the leading market is Canada. Today in Canada, there are more searches for binary option than there are in Germany, in France, in Australia, and in many other markets. Now, what's interesting about Canada, and this is something that we often see in markets that are rising, is that today there are still more general, more generic queries for binary option than for specific brands. And this is exactly how new markets evolve, right? First, users search for the general term, for the general product, and then only on the later stage they focus on specific brands. Now, if we compare it to a more established market, France, for example, you can see that in France, today users search more for a specific brand than for the general binary option terms. Now, this leads me to the third and the last opportunity that I want to highlight, and this is the opportunity to create brand awareness or to become a market leader in some of the markets. What we see in the binary option industry, and I think it's very interesting, is that 20% of the queries for specific brands are co-searched with other brands. It means that users search for a specific brand, and then on the same time, or just right after, they search for a different brand. And here you can see which brands are associated with which. And of course, this is only partial data for some of the brands. It's for 2012. But for example, you can see that 24 option is highly associated with binary, and that any option was frequently searched with option third. So now, if I would show you the same analysis for the Forex industry, for example, it's a different picture. Then, there the brands are more differentiated from one another. But in the binary option industry, the sensitivity to brands is still low. And maybe it's also due to the fact that many of the binary option brokers use the same platform providers, and then many of the websites have pretty much the same look and feel or pretty much the same offering. So users find it hard to differentiate between the different brokers. But this situation has also a positive aspect. And the positive aspect is that it's quite easy, you might say, for a brand in binary option to become a market leader in relatively short time. And I want to show you the German example. This is how the German market looked like in 2011. You can see that we had a clear market leader, right? Any option. Any option was the most popular brand of binary option in Germany. Now let's move on to 2012. And here, as someone said earlier, we have a newcomer, Bank the Swiss. It wasn't there before, right? Bank the Swiss was almost as popular as any option in 2012. And if we zoom in to the last quarter, 2012, to the fourth quarter, you can see that Bank the Swiss became the market leader. So from nothing in 2011 to market leader by the end of 2012, it's quite impressive. And it's not particularly something that is unique about Germany or about Bank the Swiss. We saw this happen in several markets with several brands in this industry, in the binary option industry. So I won't keep you longer, just to recap some of the things. Binary option industry is growing very, very fast in desktop, in mobile, in many new markets. And this is the right time to capture the opportunities that I've highlighted some of them. The opportunity to educate the market, the opportunity to be in new markets, and to create brand awareness. And I'm here in the next couple of days. If you have any question or you want to discuss it further, I will be happy to take an approach. And last thing is that tomorrow we have a workshop for AdWords, which is the advertisement platform of Google. line 11 in room C. So you are all welcome, and we'll be there.